look at that black walnut bed. But today on the 71 C10 we're going to work on getting all this stuff all wired up, making a nice little wiring board right here with the real estate that I have available under the seat, and getting this to power on with the key. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is I've got myself some 1/4-inch black starboard here. You can get this anywhere, Amazon, eBay, wherever, marine stores. Going to cut this down to fit under the seat here, and then we were going to drill. There's going to be one 1/4 20 screw with a nutsert going through the floor on each corner of this to hold this down. Then we're going to mount my bus bars. We have one for ground, one for battery, one for ignition power. Battery is coming straight in off of the battery. Ground will be a big main body ground. Ignition, I've got to pull somewhere off of here, one of these wires, I forget. I looked it over already. I think it's that pink one that's hanging down. I did that on purpose because that's going to be my ignition feed. And that's going to feed all of my Terminator stuff, power up everything here, and the battery, the big gauge wire, is going to come in one end, go back out the other end. It's also going to power our amplifier. Alright, so we're cut. This is my general area where I'm going to put it. Now I got to figure out my layout, which will include where I'm putting my bus bars and where I'm routing my wires. So this is where you have to realize and think ahead to what all you're going to have for wires that are coming down here. So obviously we're going to have a pink ignition 12 volt coming down here. This is going to be my battery main. My ground will be over here. It'll probably be grounded to the main bolt here, which will be grounded underneath the body to the frame. But we also have 3 sets of RCA cables that are going to be coming down here, and 2 sets of speaker wires that are going back up to our side kick panel speakers. Because all the other speakers, your subs are in the box, and your rear 4.5s, or what are they, 4.5s? Yeah, 4.5s are in the box as well. So all that stuff is internal in the box, but the other wires all need to come back here. Now, other than that, I'm pretty positive through my massive OCD that we don't have any other wires that need to come back this way. We just have all these wires that are already back here, which are going to be our power, ground, and ignition stuff. And actually the other big wire we're going to have is our CAN communication extension that's going to run up here into the BIM module to convert all my signals over. So I've actually got to go find where that is. It's over there. We ordered one. I saw it come in. I just don't know where it is in the pile. And then the only other big wire that's coming off is, where is it? One of these ones. Oh, it's already over there. It's not even a big wire. It's like maybe 8 gauge, but that's the wire that goes up to our drive-by-wire pedal assembly. All right, and there we go. There's my plate. There's my 3 bus bars tied to it or screwed to it. I'm going to do my perimeter bolts now. I just had to put it up in the air because you always want to make sure you're not going down. Like right here is a double cross member support bracket right here, and you don't want to be trying to go through that with a nutsert. Be much easier to just go through nice flat plain sheet metal. So where I have it now, we're going to go inch in, and do 1 in each corner, and then I will drill the floor, put the nutserts in, and this will be bolted down. So now when the carpet goes in, you just grab a screwdriver or a poker, make it red hot, poke it up through the bottom of that nutsert, and not only will you locate and burn your hole in the carpet, you'll also singe the edges so that when you put a screw in, it doesn't grab a thread of the carpet, wrap it all around, and pull an entire thread out of your carpet. Okay, and there we have you. When this is done, rug is in and everything's good, I'll put a nice stainless 1/4-inch washer on here too. A couple of extra peripheral things I have to do that I was reminded of is, so this is my harness for my rear lighting, and it passes through the same pass-through that my Holley Terminator stuff comes up, and then it goes to the rear of the body. With these Alumacraft taillights we're using, I have all my normal signals in here for, you know, park, reverse, left and right directional, but I also have to have a full-time battery positive to those LED circuit boards in those taillights. So, since we don't have a reverse light in this system, I am going to convert my light green, which is my reverse light, into that full-time battery power. And I'm just going to pull that off of one of these. This is full-time battery power, stuff that goes to the heater system if we weren't using a vintage air. It goes to the stock. So I'm going to just pull that, that light green out of there and replace it with this, so we have full-time battery power back there. Also, this is now when I have to get this harness run up in behind here how I want to final mount it, because this, along with the RCA cables, are going to run down this crease of the floor here and then be covered with more sound deadening to flatten that out so that you don't even know they're there. Also, these are my power and grounds to my vintage air. Red is power, orange is power, white is ground for some reason on vintage air. Those will also be getting run over to these bus bars. So everything is going to be powered off of these bus bars in the interior, besides the stuff that is next to the fuse block over there, in which I already have a bunch of wires run. Oakley dokley, I've got what I needed to splice into that reverse wire spliced in. I've got my main harness run and tied in where I want to tie it in. Coming down here, I'm going to bring these two down here as well for my two powers, my two grounds for my vintage air. But right now what I'm going to do is start on my big wiring. So my big main power wire, and then I have in here somewhere this one that's going to have like 6 feet of slack cut out of it, my big main power and ground for the Terminator. And then we're going to start going through these little by little. I have them all wired, ground. This one is ignition, and they're going to go to their respective block, and then we will be drilling some holes in this mounting pad and zip tying everything down real nice so it comes out and makes a good run. It's going to look good. So let me do some layout of these wires, get a couple of them attached here, and I'll bring you back and give you the rough view of what we're going to have here. Oh, welcome back, guys. All right, it's the next day, because much like most of my time, I get pulled in every direction possible, and we had a whole bunch of cars that I needed to take care of. It is 2 o'clock the next day. I just sent my helper home because we've literally run out of stuff for him to do. We have like 5 cars taken apart right now. We're waiting on parts for all of them, and we have more cars to take apart, but we just physically don't have the room to take them apart or to put anything once we take them apart. So I sent him home. We're gonna get back on this. I've got 3 powers, 3 grounds. I haven't started running my ignition wires yet, but I did last night partially run over my powers and grounds for my vintage air, which we are going to hook those into these bus bars now, and then start on, I also routed over my pink ignition wire. Oh, that's not it, that's the cut one. Pink ignition, oh, here it is. Routed that over so we can attach that in there and start getting my ignition stuff done. Once that's done, I'm going to use some jumper cables to give power and ground to the main body, just because I don't have battery cable to make the battery cables. And then we'll see if all this stuff powers up when I flip the key on. Alright, there is the rough mess. This will all be cleaned up super tight and nice and everything. I just don't want to wrap everything yet. I want to get the carpet in here first, so then I can bolt this down, and then each one of these can be run out and tied down nicely, and everything's going to look super neat. You saw me looking through the instructions. I could not remember the blue and white wire And then it dawned on me, oh yes, this is if you're using a square wave tachometer, like on the GTO, the factory hood tach, this would plug into that. We don't need any of that because we are can line feeding it up to the BIM module, to the VHX gauge controller, but we are connected. So let me see if I can do this with one hand holding the camera. We're gonna use my key. Am I turning it? No, I'm turning it the wrong way. Oh, all right. So we are powered up and good. We are powered up here. We are powered up right there too. And the light on the back of the controller is on as well. So everything is powered up. Well, I actually, while I got you in here, I want to hear, I can't remember if I put a tune in this or not. I'll know if we can hear this relay, fuel pump relay, do its thing. Oh, there it is. Okay, so that was prime on, prime off. So this wire will run up. This is for my brake switch. This red and white wire that comes off of your drive-by wire harness that they say to hook up to your brake, if you ever want to do a burnout, do not hook this up. Because what happens is when you hook that wire up, if you are on the brake and the gas at the same time, I think it cuts it down to 30% fuel flow, and it will not let the RPMs rise. So don't hook that up if you want to do cool stuff. All right, so now that I know all of that is good, it's hot today, guys. It's really hot. I'm gonna move on to my next. Oh, let's see. Actually, make sure the drive-by wire stuff is working. I don't know if you guys will be able to hear it. Oh, yep. I can hear the throttle blade. Hear that click out there? All right, so that is all working too. Cool. Oh, one more thing. Let me put you down for a minute. Now that I have all of my vintage air wire, powers and grounds in here, let me hook up my control head and make sure all that stuff works. Okay, so as you can see, my lighting works for that, and my radio dims now. And as you can hear, my blower fan comes on. Now it's pulsing because I have small gauge wire over there, so I can't really let it go full time. I am going to swap around my power leads from my jump box out there and see if I can get this thing to go full speed, just so I can make sure my defrost floor and dash settings are correct. Okay, so that all worked. For the sake of not being boring, not going to film, you know, going through the modes on that. I will say I did have to do the recalibration procedure because it was not calibrated. It was on defrost when it should be on floor and vice versa. So it's real simple. It's in their instructions, or it's online if you ever need to do it. So, okay, that's something done. I guess let me put it up in the air. We'll stop making some battery cables. All right, let's revisit under here where I left off. So that main battery feed that goes to my battery positive bus comes down here, follows the fuel lines, goes over here to my main bus bar that's coming off the battery. So these two have a hard connection in between them. So power is going to go into that and then back out, well, into this, and then back out all the way up to my main starter lug. And then this purple is my ignition feed. And since this is the one that has a actual 1-pin plug-in MetroPack connector, I will be getting one of those to put back on there rather than change out this starter to have the one that has like a regular bolt lug on there. Now, grounds, I could do one of multiple ways. I believe how I'm going to do it is we are going to nutsert into the frame and use the frame as our ground instead of running a fat 2-gauge ground cable all the way up. And then we will run a nutsert somewhere up here to the block and then here to the body. We already have one framed to the body to the cab, so I know I have good ground on my cab. I like doing those just because they give you a nice, good, tight connection in there. They spread open, and very rarely do they ever corrode out or loosen up or anything like that. So I believe we will make that main battery connection. So I've got to look up here, figure out how I'm going to run it, if I'm going to run it on the inside end to that or on the outside. I just got to figure out, because exhaust is going to be tight in here among other things. So let me do some mapping, see which way is going to work best, and then we'll start cutting some wire. Well, shit, ladies and gents, we got us a hummingbird that went and flew in the shop like an idiot. I tried closing the big door so he could just see the light from the little door. He's really confused right now because of the white ceiling. And I've even got my phone over there because we're in the Northeast, so the only hummingbird we have is a ruby-throated hummingbird. And I've got its mating call playing on my phone over there. But he's still not flying out, and I really don't want to lock up shop at the end of the day and come into a dead hummingbird, or dead anything really. But I'm going to keep working in the dark, and hopefully he figures out, you know, that this massive 20 by 20 door here is where he can fly through. I even tried putting the red barrels and the red oil thing out there, because if you don't know, hummingbirds are extremely attracted to the color red. But yeah, so we'll see what happens, because I'd rather she goes out there, and it's a she because she doesn't have the ruby throat. Little known fact, I'm a nature nerd. Let me go find her. Actually, she might have flew out. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright, well, I don't see her anymore. I almost tripped over the lift. I walked out front to go lock my truck because I'm driving the F100 tonight. And one of two things happened. She either found the doorway finally, or it was too long without eating and they're dead. She stopped somewhere on one of these rafters, which we'll find her eventually when this place gets a major house cleaning. But anyways, back to the project. So like any good builder with full-on ADHD, I came in here getting ready to run a battery cable back here, but as you can see, it's only that same battery cable I already did, because I was looking up here at where to route the battery cable, and I was like, you know what? I should probably make my transmission lines first so that they're not in the way, and then I can kind of follow the transmission lines to a point until it branches off, because it's going to come, this battery cable, I forgot to mention, is going to come to the main terminal on my starter, but then I have remote jump start posts on the radiator core support at the top up here, which that is going to come off of there and there, so we have direct power to the starter and the battery from that jump start post. But yeah, so I got those run up in here anyways. Just to this point, I have to get my fittings for the radiator cooler, and I believe I'm going to need two 90-degree 6ANs, which I do not have. I used my last one on here. I figured my easiest way to do this line was a 90 on the bottom, but you can't run a 90 on the top because it's going to be too close to the bottom one, and you got this mounting tab here, so I did a 45 on the top and just bunched them all in good together. They are attached here and attached here. I am going to also attach this one down here so that these can't come up like this and get near the exhaust. You know, typical build stuff. But for right now, I think it's good enough to end this video, because I did what I set out to do, which was turn the key and power everything in the car. Next, my next goal, I got away from this because I'm always trying to chase big, huge chunks of things. And if you look at my older videos, it's always about small victories. That was a small victory. My next small victory I'm going to do now is getting my lines or my cables to the battery, to the grounds, to the starter, to the ground, all that stuff, so that I can actually crank it with the key. Because once I can crank it, this is my fuel pump relay, this is my fuel pump circuit breaker, fuel pump main power feed, this is my fuel pump turn on signal. I can cut these to length and hide them all up here, and then I believe I can start it. I don't like saying that because every time I say that, it's always weeks and weeks until I can start it, but we'll see. But anyways, it's coming along. Don't forget, super sick QA1 F100 chassis that we just got all together this week. Gonna be another nutty Coyote 6R80 build. Beautiful truck. We already got a whole, I believe, bed, cab, doors, hood, fenders, core support, possibly complete interior with it from a friend of ours. He bought another one of our trucks, and he's over at Kinser Chassis right now having another truck built. And instead of using that cab or all those sheet metal, they're going to just start from fresh. No reason, just that's how they like to do it. All of it's in mint condition. He keeps his trucks absolutely immaculate. But yeah, that's coming up too. But till then, ooh, look at that pearl. I haven't seen that pearl shine in a while. Can't wait to wash this thing out in the sun. All right, guys, I will talk to you later.